Good evening. It is our first live show of the season. Tori, how are we feeling?
So far so good. It's still hot as shit here in Kansas City for some reason. And I'm ready for fall. Like football is back. It's time for fall.
Are you like a soup person for like the fall season
Oh, big
or?
soup person. I made the like lasagna soup actually, like
Yes,
on
you did tell me that
Monday.
on Tuesday. Was it good or whatever day it was? Was it good?
Yeah, it was delicious. It's so good.
Oh man, yeah,
Always.
I love soup season. I know that there's just one girl on TikTok that she'll post like her Sunday salads, and then once she gets to the football season, she'll switch over to like her Sunday soup recipes, and I am like all for that. I love soup. I
Oh, big soup stand, big soup stand. But
Yeah.
how are you feeling after watching the Packers yet again in person?
Good, happy. It was such a fun game. I had a great time. Had a good time seeing everybody. A lot of people from like Packers Twitter were there. The Twitter tailgate meetup. Great time with my girls. Shout out to Tiffany and Jasmine. We had a great time. Lots of fun. So yeah, it was awesome to be able to see them catch another W in person. Like I will say, my section, I was trying to pump them up. I was like, okay, guys, stand. Like, have we not waited 8 months for this? And they were just looking at me like I'm the crazy person and I'm like screaming. I'm like, stand up. And especially like on like, the final drive and even LaFleur was like,
Yes,
okay, guys,
no.
like, let's get up. And I'm like, he's saying it like it's time, like it's time. So, but yeah, no, it was a great time. Was super happy to win. I didn't feel like I felt like we had control the whole game. Obviously, that garbage time touchdown was not like reflective as to like how the game actually felt. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely interesting seeing it in person versus watching it on TV because there's a lot of things that I feel even though I was watching that I missed.
Oh, yeah,
Just because of
it's so much harder, I feel like, when you're
yeah,
so
yeah.
far away and stuff, and there's only this the Jumbotron screen is not the best of quality, let's be honest.
Like they're doing an okay job, but like I didn't know until like later that evening that like our center threw up on the ball. Like, like
Yes, yes.
wild. That poor guy. I don't know if it was dehydration. I don't know if they've come out and said like what it was because it was hot. My friends they got sunburned. I thankfully was like sitting in the shade, but supposedly they sold out of water. It was also apparently the second hottest home opener. The big question is, do they sell out of beer? I don't know. I don't drink beer,
Who's
but
to say?
yeah, who's to say if they sold out of water? I think people probably were very dehydrated. There was a lot of apparently like medical personnel, like assisting people. So like us, like you said, it's hot. Like I think it was 89 degrees, maybe with humidity, maybe like a 95. But for me, granted, again, I was in the shade, but like that's normal here in Texas. I just maybe if they're just built differently, I'm not sure. So what about you? What all did you notice from actually getting to focus on it?
Yeah, no, honestly, like, even though, like, I was watching the TV, I did not notice him, like, puke on the ball, actually, until I went on Twitter. I was like, "Wait, what the fuck? Like, what just happened?" Because I was, like, thinking the same thing LaFleur said. I was like, "Why are we running the ball right now? It is 3rd and long." Like, this I was like, "Do we really just not trust him that much?" Like, I was low-key pissed and stuff, and I saw I was like, "Oh, well, yeah." Like, honestly, I'm just glad you held on to it if any
Yeah, like he's the real MVP because that's got to
it
be
yeah, right.
yeah,
Good
especially
old
like it like
slime ball, like, no thank you.
what is this Nickelodeon in real life?
Disgusting. No, I mean, the game, it was fun. It was fun, it was a little low scoring, but, like, we stayed in it and, like, we had some good
Mhm,
plays. The defense came up, I think, really big, like we said last week, that that's what I said, like, we need our defense to keep us in this game and give us a chance, and, like, they did just that. They had, what, 3 turnovers,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
So, was a real big fan to see them for sure. Uh, I was a little hesitant about, like, all the running. I knew we
mhm.
were gonna run the ball, but, like I said, I think I told you, like, we ran, like, 7 times in a row at one point, and in
Yeah,
my head, I'm like, "Dude, switch it up, like, they're going to keep guessing, like, they're gonna know what's coming. They're gonna stop it," but, like, they just didn't until,
mhm.
like, halftime, they started figuring it out, but yeah, so, I mean, it worked, and you know what? It got me a fantasy football win because I have Josh Jacobs, so
Nice. Did you how firmly do you believe the I don't know what you call it, but it's like I want to call it like whenever they do the prediction curse, because like last year for instance, right, when everyone picked, like not a single person picked Green Bay to win, and then obviously won with that game against
Yes,
Dallas.
yes.
That same thing happened with the Colts, and I know opposite times that's happened to us in the past where everyone picked the Packers and then of
Oh,
course we
I
lost to like
100% believe in that curse.
the
No, I
prediction curse.
if if I see every single person pick the Packers, I'm literally just like, "Shit." Like, I
Crying
no, like,
like
I'm, like, already
oh
knowing, I'm like, they are all rooting way too hard for us. Like, we need to still be, like, underdogs in some way, especially right now, I feel.
mhm,
So many people, I think, feel that we're gonna do very well. Or they did at the
mhm,
beginning of the year when we were gonna have love the whole season. And so they were, like, thinking we were gonna do pretty well, and they're not counting us out, and I'm glad.
yeah.
Like we said, we needed to at least win a game while love's gone, and we have now.
Mhm.
Ideally, we just keep winning,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and we're in
very,
a good
very
spot when
ideally.
he comes back. So I don't
Mhm.
care if they're ugly wins. I don't care if they're close call wins. A win is a win.
A win is a win. How did you feel about Malik's post game, speech on the or like talk on the field, and then like the post game interview? Like I thought he was incredibly well spoken. Like just
Yeah,
listening to
yeah,
that made me love the guy 10 times more. Obviously, you get us a W. I'm incredibly grateful for you, but like
yeah. Big fan,
he
big
was
fan.
so well spoken afterwards that I was like, wow, like
I mean,
that's huge.
I think he's got to be used to that. I mean, like that's a quarterback's role. Like you're the
Mhm.
go-to person they're going to talk to after a win or a loss. So I think that's coming with practice for sure. But no, yeah, it was good to hear. You know, he sounds like a good guy.
Mhm.
So it's kind of nice to see because I'm really enjoying this like kind of drama freeness we've had this season. And
Okay.
like it feels so good. Like it feels
Yeah.
so good right now.
Well,
Like we
definitely
have
with
not been out of the drama light in so long.
definitely with as many touches as Jacob had. I was really concerned after the first week because he didn't have that good of a week, and then obviously
Yeah.
Aaron Jones had an incredible week, and it was kind of like the
A little flip flop here at the
yeah,
next week
and then
though.
after this week, he had a great week. I
Mhm.
again don't know necessarily how everyone else did because being at the game, you don't really watch or you're not so fine tuned into what is going on around the rest of the NFL. You just kind of get like highlights here and there. So like all I know is that Minnesota won. They screwed me
Yep.
over in my bet. I bet on all these teams and all of them won except for San Francisco. So
Mm.
they consistently are letting me down one way or the other.
I am
Um
curious. No, I am curious because I had a lot of people ask me, who would I
mhm.
rather win that game? Would you have rather San Francisco won, or are you happier that I guess the Vikings beat San Francisco?
No, I would have rather San Francisco won. And that's not just because I would have won money if they would have won. It's because they're not in our division. As much as I hate them, they're not
Mhm.
in our division. So that's kind of what about for you?
I mean, I went with I'd rather see San Francisco pummel the shit out of the Vikings because I hate them so much. But the points that were usually brought up was stuff like, you know, they're more likely to be further down in the playoffs than the Vikings are. So like would you
Hmm.
rather like them try and win the NFC and get the bye, or would you rather like Detroit try and be up there? Like it came down to like how high do you want to see them, because like you're going to have to play in San Francisco at some point then.
Hmm.
That that didn't like I didn't really care.
Okay.
Like about that
Yeah.
factor. Like I felt like for some reason with Aaron Rodgers, that was a factor and stuff. But like we gave San Francisco a good game. I am not upset about our game last year against them in the
W-
playoffs.
We
We
had that game for
we had
56
that
minutes.
game and like there was at least like two or three times we had that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Um,
no.
I definitely get that. Yeah, because you're right. Like, but again, I am such a that is a tomorrow me problem. That is a
Mhm.
18 weeks from now problem for me, not a current me problem. Like, screw the Vikings. Like, and then let's talk about the Bears loss on Sunday night. That was pretty fun to watch.
That makes me
Gee
so
whiz.
happy. So actually I had a patient come back, and he was one of my first patients when I started working. He was an ACL kid, and he's a Vikings fan here in Kansas City. So of
Mhm.
course we had we shoot shit all the time. And he's a good kid. And we were like, you know what we can agree on though? We love to see the Bears still not succeeding. Like we
Yeah.
love that Caleb Williams is like not
Terrible.
it's I wouldn't say
Terrible.
terrible. I see I see the talent. I see talent in him. I don't think it's as much as they saw in him.
Yeah, yeah, they were sold on him in July. What was it, that one tweet that was like, "Nobody can make this throw," and it's like a
And it's
5-year-old
like,
kid in their backyard could
bro,
throw
it's like a
that.
drop back. Like
Yeah.
it's
What are
like
you doing?
not yeah, like anyone can actually I've seen like 6th graders make that throw.
But go off, go off.
Go off
Yeah.
king. And it's
Ugh.
so it is like so nice to see because I mean everyone knows he said to the punter, like the whole don't get used to punting or whatever. We're not going to be punting very much around here, whatever the quote was. um and they have more punting yards than he has
Offensive
yards,
yards.
like he
Yeah.
has yards thrown, which is hilarious, and I love that.
Oh, yeah, I think, like, our Jaden Reed has more yards than I think, like, their top 3 wide receivers combined also or something. Like, it's just it's it's what they do every year. They win in the offseason, they talk a bunch of trash. Somehow they pulled out the first win, against, I
The
can't even remember
defense,
who the
that's how,
yeah,
like,
the defense, yeah,
the offense did not win that.
no. And so obviously things are screwed. Did you watch Monday night's game, the with prime Kirk Cousins? I did not
Dude,
have any
okay,
faith in him.
I no, I really let me tell you how much no faith I had in him. So it was the 2-minute warning, and the Eagles
Mhm.
just got a first down. And I
Okay.
think the Falcons only had like one or two, I think two timeouts left. But like they just got a first down, 2-minute warning. They were, getting close. And I was like, like it's done, whatever. Like I'm just gonna turn on like Rick and Morty or whatever and like go to bed. Um, and then like Jared texts me, he's like, dude, like Cousins just had one of the drives of his life, I think. And like he was like, yeah, they're gonna beat the Eagles. I was like, what are you talking about? And I like zoomed quick and that's what I get. That's what I get for turning off the game is I missed something
Mhm.
good. I get that.
Mhm.
That's my fault.
Yeah. It was, we were flying back, and as soon as we landed, it was, like, right whenever they were starting to like, they had gotten basically all the way down, and, all of a sudden, they turned the TVs off on the plane, and so immediately Tiffany pulls up her phone, and we have it on there, and we were, like at that point, I guess, like, we were off on being live, which is, I guess, fine because we were in the air, but, they had just scored the touchdown to win it, and I'm like, "Yeah!" And, of course, we're back here in Dallas, so all of these Dallas fans are,
For
like,
sure, for sure.
um, you know, uh, cheering too. And I'm like, no, still screw the Cowboys. Y'all got your butts beat by the Saints. So I'm like, screw you guys. I'm like, this is just the only thing we'll have in common. We both hate the Eagles. And then like watching that game, because actually we sat and watched that the whole plane
Yeah.
ride. I'm like, if our game would have been played in Philadelphia, I think we would have won it. Like, no doubt in my mind. I think if the game would have been played in Philadelphia, we would have won it. Um, but again, it is what it is. So we'll see. Our kicker missed. How are you feeling about that?
Oh my God.
Did you have PTSD? Because I did. I was literally
Oh no,
like,
like I'm never confident right now with field goals. I have not been confident for a full season now. It's continuing, and is this how Vikings fans like live like constantly? Like this is terrifying. I
mhm,
hate this because like
mhm.
it's any yard, like any
Yeah,
yardage, 36
no,
yards. I'm still
not safe.
shaking in my boots. We are
Yeah.
not safe. It's a problem. It's
Hmm.
still a problem. I hope it's getting addressed. And like it's just I feel like it's so hard to find, like, good kickers, and that's why they last so long,
Hmm.
like, they're not putting a lot of damage on their bodies and stuff. It's frustrating.
It's brutal watching that. I was like, oh no, because he missed one against Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, I think
Did
it's
he?
yeah.
I think he missed one against Philadelphia. He missed one in week 2. I'm like, okay, this is not good. Like, we're not off to a good start. And also, like, I think the other weird thing about the game too from this past week was the challenge that LaFleur did, like,
Not a
very
good
close to the
challenge.
end. Not a
Not a
good
good
challenge.
challenge.
He's such a good coach, but he has these like idiotic challenge calls sometimes that I'm like, my dude, what are you doing? Like, no. Mm,
There has been several that have been, like, questionable throughout, like, his career with us, I feel, where it's like,
mhm.
"Bro, what are you doing? Like, what are you seeing?" Like, because like, what I saw is, like, not even close.
Yeah, not even close
And
at
I like to
all.
hope you, sir, know more about football than I do. So if I can see it's not even close.
Yeah, like, you should not be supposed to
Maybe
be there.
maybe it's like his adrenaline or something is like going. Who's to say? I don't know. And he was just like, yeah, he's just like so into the game, and I don't know. Maybe his
Talented.
players are there trying to like convince him, like, bro, I had that. Like, I don't know.
It's a real possibility. It's a real possibility. So, looking forward to Sunday. How are you feeling about Sunday?
Um, you know, not bad. Not
Okay.
bad. Not bad. For the fact of I mean, real quick, Jordan Love's back at practice, right?
Yes.
Do
Yes.
you
Big news.
do you think he's gonna play?
Yes.
Emily.
I was
Emily.
so convinced he was going to play on Sunday. I was like
Emily, use
living
your
in
head. No.
delusion.
Emily, no.
I was living in delusion that that man was going to run out of the tunnel like with his jersey
Jesus
on, and all of us
Christ.
were
He
going
would
to
be
be like,
hobbling out. He has a strained MCL. No.
I okay, so part of me is like, no, because I think that this is a very winnable game. I mean,
Yes.
Will Levis, whatever you have to say his last name, he's already a very memeable player. We're going into week 3 and he already has 2 amazing memes. Like, this is not a game that we should be struggling for. So part of me is like, I know you're gonna say it, go ahead and say it because I don't want to take your words out of your mouth for Malik.
It's a revenge game. Like, it's a
Yeah.
revenge game. Like, let him do his thing. Let him
Let
cook.
him cook.
Let let him just shove it up real quick. No, like you're saying, I not like you're saying and like you're saying, I do not think he's gonna play. I don't even think it's gonna come close. I think it'd be stupid to honestly have
Mhm.
Love play. It'd be stupid to put him at that risk for like ruining the season versus
Mhm.
ruining the next maybe 2 or 3 games. At
Yeah.
max, he's coming back, I feel like week 7 at like the max of things. And
Mhm.
so don't give him that opportunity and let him have his chance again. Like he got us a win. Why would
Mhm.
we
No,
take that? Like
absolutely.
why would we like bench him for that when we still do need him? Because even if Love played, I don't feel like it would last the whole game. Like you'd end up like needing
Mhm.
to come out again.
Yeah, and I
So
think it's better just to let him rest. So I agree with you. I think let Malik play. He gets his revenge game. He goes off. Let Jacobs carry again. Honestly, that was the recipe for success. I mean, the
he
games only get
right now is questionable on my fantasy team. Not happy about that. But I think it's just
really.
because like I don't think any like I saw like I read the reports and LaFleur doesn't sound like too concerned. I think it just he got overworked a little bit. He had like what 30 I have the stats up. I think he had like 30 yeah, 32 carries or attempts, sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, like 32 attempts. He got hit every single time. Like, he got beat
Yeah,
up a little bit. So
it
I
takes a
mean
toll.
I'm not concerned about him being questionable at this time.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think also too, it's just like the name of the game. Like yesterday was Wednesday, it's Thursday, so it's like they kind of go through the waves of like,
Yeah.
on the thing, and so immediately they get put up um on like the fantasy stuff. So that way there's no drama. But I mean, it's been
And
an injury riddled season already, and we're
Jesus Christ, it's been terrible. I am
uh
in 2 leagues right now. I'm 1 and 3, and I am struggling. And because it's my teams on paper look good. They look
mhm,
good, but they are just like not producing. No wide receiver, running back, not none. There's been like very handful of the two have been reliable for 2 weeks in a row.
mhm.
The guys you think should be getting you points aren't. The
Tyreek
guys that
Hill, Jamar Chase.
and then it's like one week it's like point 6 points, and then the next week's got 27. What am I supposed to do with that information?
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do about that? Because you're not getting me 27 points every week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this season's been frustrating for fantasy owners.
So I saw something that was like the best option for playing fantasy football is just not playing, and I'm like, yeah, because
Yeah, but like it's not. I love it.
oh yeah, no, I love it too. I'm 2-0 in one league and I'm 0-2 in another league. So I'm like, it is what it is. Like, I have Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill in one league, and they both had less points than Nico Collins on my bench. And I was like,
But like nine, like every
really?
single time, 10 out of 10, I'm putting those people in. Like,
Hmm. Yeah.
It's not like I would like go if I went back in time, I would do it differently because I probably wouldn't unless I knew the
Mhm.
outcome.
And that's kind of like why for this season I really didn't draft any Packers wide receivers because again, I feel like we don't have a solid
We
wide
have to
receiver
spread the
one.
ball in too
It
much.
gets spread, and honestly, at this point with not having Love, I mean, there were not that I mean, yeah, there was not that many, passing attempts, which is fine because again, it worked, the system worked. That's what we had to do.
Mhm.
So but yeah, it's just all my friends were like, "Should we put Reed in this week?" I was like, "Ooh, I don't know,"
See,
because I'm like, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
it's so hard to tell because, like, honestly, the only Packer I even thought about drafting was Jacobs because I was like, he's
Mm,
going to get the ball. I know, especially because Dylan was out when we had our draft.
yeah.
Um, but if we're going off receivers, honestly, I said I would pick Reed over Watson. Like a lot of people are trying to grab Watson first, and I literally turned to the guy next to me. I said, "Interesting draft pick." And he was like, "Oh, like joking with me because he knows I'm a Packers fan." He's like, "Oh, really? Yeah, you wanted him?" I was like, "No, like I wouldn't have picked him." And then like
Mhm.
I was first, so I had to like wait the whole entire snake. And then when it came back, like Reed got picked up like literally two people in front of me, and I was like,
Mm.
and I looked, I was like, that's who I would have got.
Yeah.
I think he gets more points in fantasy. Like he's more reliable in the terms of fantasy.
Mhm. And that's whenever it comes down to strictly fantasy, that's what you're going for. Same thing with like Dobbs. Like I feel like Dobbs is an underrated player because there's games where he'll get
Hmm.
a ton of attention, but
Yep.
it's kind of hard to tell. So yeah, you're right. Josh Jacobs is a good pickup because out of anyone on our offense, it is going to be him that is going to be getting the most
Yeah.
touches, more than likely. Um, do you have a score prediction for this week for against Tennessee at all? Do-
I don't
High,
remember what we
low?
picked for last week. Another low. I think it's another low one, and let's go just quick. I think we're gonna win this week. What do you think?
Mhm,
Of
mhm,
course, yeah. I was
mhm.
like, if I'm thinking we're getting a win, I know you're thinking we're getting a win.
You're like, "Oh, I'm already picking out my, like, game-winning outfit celebration or whatever."
Yeah, you're like already like ready, like you have like pom poms in hand or something. No,
Cheese
like
heads on.
at all times. Uh, I think we're gonna get a win. I like this matchup. Um, Especially like early in the season when like you are trying to still make corrections from previous games.
Mhm,
So hopefully we can capitalize on that for Tennessee. Like I said, revenge game. I'm hoping that feels a little bit of a fire. These are some young
mhm.
guys, so when they come out with energy, it's gonna go well.
And it
I
looks like it should be a good, like, representation of Green Bay from what I've been seeing online.
I do feel like it will be like I mean, we travel well for all the games.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm
National
never worried
takeover.
about like the representation. Like we travel well and stuff. Like I think when we went to the Chiefs and Packers game when we played not in Green Bay but in Kansas City, um I'm pretty sure like Jared was telling me like he was like this is like the most of any other team
Mm,
like
yeah.
color like I've really seen. I don't know if it's because green just contrasts with red so well, but I'll take
It's
it.
Christmas.
Yeah, but I'll take it. So, I mean, you think we're going to win. What's who do you think's going to show out for us and who's going to help us get this W?
Hmm. I'm okay with Reed. I'm okay with our tight ends. If one of our tight ends wants to ball out, either Kraft or Musgraves, I'm not
Mhm.
mad at that. And if Malik can have his revenge game, honestly, I love that picture where it's like oh gosh, who was the quarterback that came in that one time and was like 6 for 6 or like, 6 touchdowns, all those yards. Oh gosh, I can't think of his name. But I know they'll put up his thing and it's like if you know, you know, and it's like that's the kind of game he needs to have. So
Yeah.
I would not be mad if he had a really good game. And I have a lot more faith in him because I will say that when we talked about it last week, and like the only thing he had done in the NFL was throw interceptions and trip on himself, I did not feel good. But kind of after watching him, hearing him speak, I feel a lot more confident in him. And I think also too, if he is getting more of the first round, like first rep practices, the guys are
Yeah,
going to feel
yeah.
more comfortable with him too. So
I think just him like getting through that first game like alive
mhm.
was helpful for him. Like, he didn't get slaughtered, he didn't get killed, murdered, like nothing bad happened. We got a
Mhm.
W. So I think that's definitely, like helpful for his like confidence
Mhm. And
and
still
that's what
some
he's gonna
confidence.
need. Yeah, and that's what he's gonna
Yeah.
need for this.
Yeah, I think it would probably be. I agree with you. Another low scoring game,
Mhm.
um, maybe like 21-17, something like that. So, and I think Packers win. So, if
Yeah.
it's a blowout, like that one game around Christmas time when it's when it was like 54-0, like I would be more than happy with that too. Like, do not get me wrong.
As long
But
as
I
it's
think
us
with
on the right side of the blowout.
yeah,
Yeah, like, that's fine.
yeah, as
I
long as
don't
we're the
think it
ones
will
doing
I
it.
don't think it will be. Like, I honestly, like, I feel like I see us, like, topping out at, like, 21.
Hmm.
I see us,
It's
like,
definitely
topping out around yeah, like, around, like, 21, maybe 4. Not much.
okay. Not much. Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. I like
And
it. I dig it.
maybe we're gonna go, like maybe let's go 24-13.
Okay. Okay. So
24-13.
21-17. Okay. 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 Now let's talk about the nitty gritty, our predictions.
That's right. So I currently am 2-0 in our preseason predictions, and Emily here is sitting at 1-1. We both have Tennessee as a W for the Packers. So we are kind of thinking about possibly having a little wager between us. And if anyone has any ideas for what they would want the loser to do, please let us know because we have no idea yet.
Yeah, there a lot of things are on the table, a lot of things are off the table.
We will probably not show boob. Loser will not show
Yeah.
boob. Maybe feet. Who's to
Feet
say?
are an option.
Feet
Feet are on the table.
feet are on the table. Post pedicure feet are on the table.
Yes, yes, those are on the table. So yeah, depending on we don't know what to do, but we have our little scorecard, and so yeah, so far you are winning, but I have the same record as the Packers.
That's
So,
true.
slow and steady wins the race.
Right. Speaking of records real quick and better than the Packer or mine being better than the Packers, it makes me so mad that the Vikings record is better than ours right now.
Oh, because they're 2-0, aren't they?
God, it makes me so mad.
And the Lions lost too.
Yes.
Okay. So where are we sitting in the rankings? I haven't even looked at that.
I haven't looked like the actual rankings. I just know like
Okay.
Minnesota obviously is going to be one because they're 2-0,
One.
but
Mm-hmm. And then
yeah.
the rest of us are like tied for second. The
Oh,
struggle is real. The struggle is real. Yeah, no, the Lions losing was actually really interesting. Who did they play against? I can't remember.
for last week,
Yeah, last week.
they would have played the Bucks. Who aren't doing
Oh, okay.
bad. Who aren't doing bad.
Okay. Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield got that contract. He has instilled confidence in himself. He is ready to go. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to Sunday. It's another noon game, so that should be fun. I do like noon games because it kind of gets like the stress out of the way. You don't have to
I
wait all
love
night for.
I was telling a patient today, the older I'm getting, the more I hate night games and the more I'm loving noon games. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
get it done, get it over with. Like I can get on with my day. When it's a night game, one, I got to stay up late and then wake up early.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Um, and then like
stressing.
regardless of win or loss, I'm like so wired for like the next
Mm-hmm.
like hour and a half. So
Yeah, no, I agree. It's weird to think that like for us being in a central time zone, like Sunday night football and like Thursday night football like starts like 7:15, right? And it's like so weird to think that like on the West Coast, like it starts for them at like 5 o'clock. And to me, that is just like so
it is so weird to think about like the time that people in New York are watching Sunday night games versus the people in like California. And
yeah.
when we were in Arizona, because we were in Arizona when the Packers beat the Cardinals, a
Okay.
couple of seasons ago, and the game was done by like 7:30 there.
Mm-hmm. And you're
I
like,
was like, we could do stuff still. Like we have time for things.
you have time for all these activities.
I know, like it was so weird. It was like really weird, but I was like, wow, this is kind of nice. But then like because like I wake up early anyway. So at 10
Mm-hmm.
a.m. like game time does not affect me. Like I'm up at 7 on a weekend
Yeah.
without an alarm. So
You got that body clock to where you
I,
just
unfortunately, yeah, I sure do.
that's like the sucky part about adulting is that even on the weekends I'm up by like 6:30 and I'm
Oh,
like, I
even
can go back to sleep. Like I can
I
go back to sleep.
can't.
Oh yeah, I'm
Like when
blessed. I
I
can go back to
open my
sleep.
eyes, if there's any sun in the sky, I'm awake. And when I was a kid, I never got to sleep in either. So like
Mm.
I've just never slept in a day in my life, and my body shows, and it shows.
You've never had a day of peace in your life. You
Probably.
don't know peace.
No, probably not. I'm like stressed all the time. I'm like constantly having to do things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like why I stopped getting my nails done because they would be like, relax, relax. And I'm like,
I'm
I
like, first
can't.
of all,
Like,
I'm
you do not
helping you.
understand. Yeah, I'm like, just do it. Just do it. Because this is like, I think the first Packer game, and I can't tell you how long that I went and I didn't have my nails done. I always get done for the game.
You're
And
just so lucky that we even won then in that game.
I know, honestly, at this point, like, you know, I wore my Jordy Nelson jersey and that was a good luck jersey. Like, I
Well,
felt pretty
speaking
good.
of, like, yeah, you're going to the game this week as well. So week number 2,
Mhm.
Emily is going to be there. Like, what are you most excited for? You haven't been to their stadium, have you? Or
I've not visited stadium. No, the last time I was in Tennessee was in 2018, and so I'm excited to see my friend Brittany. Really excited. I haven't seen her since the home opener last season. She's gonna kind of show me around Nashville area. I'm excited to knock another stadium off the list. Hopefully, get the
yeah, how
W. We
many
got
is this for you?
um. This will be the seventh stadium, seventh or eighth. So
I haven't even been to like 7 NFL games, I feel like, in the past like 5 years.
I'm really looking forward to it. We got really good seats. Thankfully, one of her friends is a season ticket holder, and I guess they got
Oh,
an
sweet.
email
Hell
for
yeah.
like face value seats. So there was not an upkeep, and so we're like in the lower bowl area. So I was like, we can continue waiting till like Friday. And then last night she was like, I think I'm gonna take them. I was like, solid, I'm good. So there's a couple people on Twitter that we're gonna get to meet. So yeah, I'm
Nice.
excited. Food should be pretty good. You know, Nashville, we're gonna go to Broadway. So
There you go.
I
There you go.
think I'm going to wear my boots to the game.
Oh
Could
my
be an
god.
interesting
Oh
choice.
my god, of course you have boots.
I have multiple pairs of boots. I live in Texas. Of course I have boots.
I don't know why. I just can't take boots seriously. I can't, especially people in Missouri, like having boots. I'm like, what ranch are you farming, buddy? We live in a suburb.
So the boots that I think I'm going to wear are like
You have a
cutesy
cowboy hat too,
boots.
don't you?
So I think we did end up getting cowboy hats. We're really leaning into like the Nashville like bachelorette party vibe, and so the hats have like
Oh
the
my
fringe, like the
god.
boa material on them. I think I'll probably wear that to the pep rally. I don't think I'll wear that to the game. I had a bow on my head for the game, and I kept being like, "Oh, what is that? What is that? What is that?" So yeah. Plus, also too, like I don't want to block anyone behind me.
That's
Um,
considerate of you.
I try to be, I try to be. I will say one thing that from this game previously is that on Saturday, seeing a bunch of Colts fans walk out of the pro shop with cheese heads, I was like, I think they're gonna paint them. And then sure enough, on Sunday we saw a bunch of blue painted cheese heads, and I'm like, that's what you get. You just spent like $30 on a cheese head to paint it blue just to lose. I'm like, you look like a loser.
I did
Um,
see though after the Eagles, the Philadelphia
Cream
cheese hat,
cheese.
I was like, that's good. I like that. You did
Yeah,
well. Like that was good.
that's like the one that I'm like semi okay with because cream cheese really is a thing and it's like Philadelphia's cream cheese. But I'm
Yeah.
like to just like and no part of me, especially in this economy, wants to spend like $30 on like an opponent's thing just to
No.
paint it or just to like screw around with
No,
it.
because like I'm like, if I went to another stadium, I don't even think I'd go in their pro shop. Like, what would be the point? I would maybe
Yeah.
look for a keychain because I do collect keychains,
Hmm.
but no,
I
like
collect the pins from the
yeah, I was
games, like
like,
the game pins.
I don't feel the need to go in their pro shop. I don't even
Mm-mm.
go in like the Royals pro shop when we're at like their games or anything. And I don't hate the Royals, but I'm not a
Yeah.
Royals fan, so I don't want their stuff.
I also feel like there's like a certain level of respect when you're going into an opponent's stadium that's like etiquette, right? It's like I don't want to be this like, give the Packers a bad name. It's almost
Yeah.
like, not that I'm a representative of them or anything like that, but just for me it's like, I am representing the
But
team
you
as some
are
sort of
like,
yeah.
there are several people I have met from other fan bases, and I'm like, I don't like this fan base. And it's literally based off one person because what if that's the
Mhm.
only fan? they've met.
that they run in
Like,
concert. Yeah. So it's like I the only reason I'll go into that pro shop is just to get the game pin because I collect those. Other than that, like I don't I don't want any memorabilia of the team. I don't want to
no,
waste money on a
nothing.
shirt. Like I don't want any of that because again, like that's not my team.
No.
Um so yeah, that was just an interesting thing. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see the stadium, to tailgate, see how they tailgate because I know how we tailgate is completely different than we wild. Uh, I was honestly really thankful that this game was a 12 o'clock game and not a 3 o'clock game. Because I think if we would have started tailgating at 8 o'clock in the morning, like we did, I do not think I would have made it to
I'd
three
be
o'clock.
asleep for a 3 o'clock game if I started drinking at like you like we're think like saying 8 a.m. I'd probably drink at like 7 a.m. when I first wake up if like I'm gonna be drinking. And like then I'd be
Yeah.
asleep by 3. Then I'd be like very sleepy.
Yeah, no, and I will say like after the game, after like again, you're right. There's just something about like winning that there's just like that like high that you're like, okay, like I'm here, I'm stoked, like let's go, let's go, let's go. So yeah, I think after the game we'll hang out for a little bit and then I fly back to Texas Sunday night.
There you
So
go.
just real quick trip like in and out. So I'm excited
Yeah.
to go. But yeah, I'm hoping that we come back with another W. I did get this really cute necklace, so shout out to the Packers Pro Shop. It says go Pack Go on it. Let's see the best way to do it. Nope, we're going
Oh,
the
I
wrong
do
way.
see. I see it. Go Pack Go.
Yeah, go Pack Go. So I have that, and then I have my little Kendra Scott necklace, little football. So just a little bit of accessory, gotta accessorize for the Packers. So
You do love that. You do the most. You really do. And we appreciate your ultimate sacrifice. And I hope the Packers give their ultimate sacrifice this weekend and give us a W.
yes, yes, I wore huge earrings, which I think I'll probably end up wearing them again. I felt very like because of how hot and humid it was. I ended up leaving my hair. I don't know if you call it like the George Washington style, where you curl it and then like you don't brush it out because
Oh,
of the fact that
I
like.
that's not what I thought.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking
I
about, the
wish
George
it like
Washington
the
style.
water hair, right? Like when
Yeah.
you dip your hair in the water and you throw it back. That was the George Washington. That's what I
Yes.
thought.
That is true. That is George Washington. I just talk about like how like I will leave my curls intact where I don't brush them out. And so between having curls that were not brushed out and these huge hoop earrings, I felt like I was from Jersey.
Emily, you need to
Um,
brush your curls.
well, eventually they fell out, which is why I didn't brush them because I knew that by the time that we got into the stadium, 3 hours later, they
They
would have
would
fallen
fall.
out. Which,
Oh,
yeah, I wish they
does
did.
your hair not hold a curl very well?
Which is crazy because it does here in Texas, but every time I go to Lambeau, my hair falls flat. I don't know.
It's probably like the humidity or I
Honest,
don't know. Like,
Honestly, yes, and I will say our hotel, which was very nice, it was very nice. However, there was a dampness in the room, which was just kind of
ew,
icky. Yeah, yeah, it was just kind of like
ew.
in the air. So I think it was like that was the other reason too. But no, my hair will hold a curl, so we'll see how it does for Tennessee. I probably won't leave it unbrushed because I am a firm believer. You're right, you do have to brush out your curls.
Thank you, thank you.
Um,
I
it's
just
just
like I thought better of you than that. I thought you would know better. Like
it
I'm
was
like
a big brain
I'm like if
activity.
I Tori this like tomboy like look at how I appear right now. You don't know what my gender is. I feel and like and if I know to brush out your curls, I was like Emily, who does her makeup before every show, sure as shit should know to brush out her curls.
Yes, there was no mirror that broke. My mirror did survive this trip, so thank goodness. Mirror survived, makeup survived, everything survived. We had no casualties. Um, we came back in one piece.
Well, that's good. Well,
Yeah,
in that case, I guess cheer loud for us who cannot be in attendance, please.
I will. You
Um,
know it.
I hope we get the W. And I guess yeah, tune in. Packers noon.
Yes, looking forward to it. And we'll be back live next Thursday. So make sure to follow us
Yes.
on all social medias. Follow Game On Wisconsin, Green and Gorgeous, Tori and Emily. Make sure you follow us. Follow us on Instagram too. We're trying to be more active on social media. So if you guys have anything that you want to see, any like players, wives, or girlfriends that you want us to reach out to, let us know. Because um now that life is finally starting to knock on wood,
Hmm.
calm down, we're trying to make sure that we're a lot more active on social media. So
Yep.
just talk to us on
Yes.
there and we'll talk back. So,
Definitely. If anyone has any idea of guests that they like to see, shoot them at us.
or if you are a female and you want to be on our podcast, because it is Green and Gorgeous, we would love to have you. So just send us a DM and we'll see what we can work out too. So,
Well, in that case, I guess we'll see you all Thursday.
bye.